It's nasty, man. I don't want to hear that ever again.
Yeah, you don't like that? It's like what's that Drake track where it's like
That's on the new album, the one where he's like, um, I don't know, presumably smashing out girls in Spain.
mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on his Ibiza era. I plan to be on my Majorca era in a few months. I'm planning a trip to Spain right now.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah. The Drake poetry book dropped this week, and I unfortunately did not, despite picking express shipping on grail.com, or sorry, off Essence. I got it off Essence. Despite paying extra for express shipping, I could not get it here in time for this episode, which was my
Ah,
plan. I was going to do a live poetry reading on air, so we'll save it for the next one, breadheads.
damn! I was actually I woke up in the middle of the night last night in a cold sweat, and I was like, I wonder if Ty got his poetry book. I was thinking about it the whole time. I was like, wow, that would be an amazing thing to do live on air. But I did see someone post it. No, someone post like a story of one of the pages, and dude, this thing is filled with like so many gems. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
like assume that every fire Instagram caption that I see from now on will be directly inspired by a quote in the book,
Oh,
including yours.
1000%. Absolutely. It's pretty good price actually for getting 200 Instagram captions.
Yeah, it's $25, right? Like, what is
Yeah.
that? Per
Divided by,
caption.
I think the page, I actually think the page counts 136. So at $25, like you can't pay a guy on Fiverr that little for that quality of
Hmm.
wordplay.
Exactly. It costs more to boost your shitty food pic on Instagram than it does
Mm-hmm.
to buy a caption from one of the greatest writers of our generation.
Mm-hmm. So the feed is going to have some fire statements. It's kind of ironic
Mhm.
that both Instagram and Subway have a feed.
Subway has a feed in what way?
Yeah. Well, the feed, you could interpret that two ways. One as the line that the sandwich, the conveyor belt that it moves down during the construction process, that's a feed of sorts because it's feeding it to you. And then the other feed is the act of eating, the feeding.
Hmm. Damn, I
We'll
hate
call it the
how
feeding.
perfect that was. The feeding,
Yeah.
of course.
I don't even need Drake's
Um,
book, man. I got all the wordplay.
mhm. And it was an interesting choice though that Drake decided to include his ghostwriter on the cover.
Hmm.
Like Drake has fight the ghostwriting allegations ever since Meek Mill was still in office,
Hmm.
and he's been fighting that. But with his book, it says it's by Drake and this other person whose name escapes me. Do you have them? Do you have
I'm
the name on
blanking.
hand?
No, I'm blanking right now. But it
Yeah.
is a weird pivot to go from I write my own shit to I have a whole team backing me and I'm going to put them on a pedestal. It's like if Subway was like, you know what? There isn't any tuna in the tuna,
Hmm.
and we don't care. It tastes great. It
Yeah.
makes it better.
Absolutely. Um, Subway collaborated on the tuna with this like New York agency who specializes in 3D printing. It's like Subway by insert agency name there.
Hmm.
That would be a fun pivot for Subway, I think.
For sure, they could embrace it in so many different marketing campaigns. Like they could call it Beyond Fish to begin with. Or
Hmm.
Fish Two is another good one I like.
Hmm.
It's the sequel to the original Fish.
Hmm. Or Mariana's stench.
Mariana Stench. Ooh, dude, you're getting into some deep trenches there. I like that.
I was born in the trenches, Ty,
Mhm.
and
You were
this
born in the
Subway
stenches, man.
this Subway podcast is just another example of it.
Yeah. No, man. Much like all the artists that tune into this podcast, we were also born in the stenches, but ours was Tuscan leather. Theirs was Italian bread. We are not the same.
We are not the same, exactly. Oh boy. Oh, Ty, I'm
Mm-mm-mm.
very excited for you to receive this book. Your summer is going to be you're gonna be living a hot girl summer, and I'm just like so happy for you.
Totally, dude. This is my summer 16. Like Drake has granted me permission to have my own.
It's your summer 16. Nice. Oh man.
Oh
Um,
man.
Speaking of the summer, I'm going away
Mm-hmm.
starting Friday.
Oh
This
yeah.
is gonna drop. like mere minutes before I'm hopping onto my plane over to London town.
That's right.
And man, recording is going to be a challenge. I know it. Ty and I have made it a goal to record once over the next 2 weeks. Um, we're really going above and beyond for you breadheads.
It is a lot. Like Eric's doing the European equivalent of Houston, Dallas, Austin, Houston, Dallas, Austin. He'll be hitting London, followed by Rome or Milan,
Milan.
Milan, and then over to the motherland, the Croatian coastline.
That's right. I think last time I was in Croatia, I had promised the breadheads frequent updates on what I was up to,
Hmm.
and I failed.
Hmm.
We didn't. I don't think we recorded a single time,
No, they're ready to be
and
heard again. There's no expectations here.
literally zero. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm already. I've got one foot into the business class cabin, Ty, as they say.
He's mentally at 30,000 feet, physically in a podcasting booth.
Hmm. I'm, my brain is at 30,000 feet. My stomach is at 1 foot, 12 inches.
Hell yeah, 12 inches above the ground. If you actually think about it, the cabin of a plane is kind of like a group podcasting booth because you're all in this like auditorily suppressed room. There's even a microphone. I've seen the hostess use it.
The hostess. Um, yeah, dude, I guess so.
Actually, it's like
Wild.
we're not in it. The pilot and co-pilot, or as they say, co-pilot and co-pilot, they are the hosts. They are the Ty and Eric of your airplane because they're always like, the weather when you land is XX, and it's going to be a bumpy ride. And that's what I like. That's what I like to tell the breadheads too at the beginning of the episode. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's getting kind of hot in here.
I don't know, man. Um, I'm like in my head, I can't get the images of the Titan sub out of my head, but I just keep going back to that and thinking like, wow, this thing really fucking just imploded. Am I right, boys?
Hmm. Damn. Speaking of Titan subs, if you ordered the meatball at Subway, the sandwich artist may also say it's going to be a bumpy ride. Both
Yeah,
making
dude.
it and consuming it. There is no relief from the turbulence that's about to ensue.
That's right. This thing has not been signed off by our safety department,
Hmm.
so eat at your own risk.
Facts.
That's right.
Wow. Okay, so you're traversing Europe. You will be unavailable to record, or maybe a little bit available if you could find an internet cafe in the Navili district of Milan. We'll see.
Hmm. That's right, Ty. I will be sipping on an aperitivo, and I'll see that you're calling me, but I won't pick up.
Damn, that's a
Damn,
hard
yeah,
line.
yeah. I'll have to give you my new number when I buy my new SIM card, but
Mm-hmm,
because business never really stops. It's just the breadheads don't get the episodes,
Business
but
is
Ty and I
business.
we're still cooking.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Business is business.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I totally agree. Wow. Speaking of cooking, Eric, I went to a bachelor party yesterday and cooked up some pretty wild stories. Um,
Yeah, you sound like you had a wild night.
do
You
I have a bit
hungover
of
today?
I'm not doing so hot. I got a bit of a grog in my throat from all of the vodka Red Bulls I drank. It was a tough day. We
Hmm.
um did one of those like dumb ass like pedal bike tours of breweries. And
Oh
it's just like
no.
it was like the first activity of the day. So it was 11 a.m. and I'm cranking back IPAs. And also, it's so hot in Vancouver right now. So I'm sweating so much on this stupid ass pedal bike. Those things are crazy because you could be pedaling as hard as possible. It's like the last 10 minutes of the Soul Cycle class for 2 hours.
So hold on. You need to paint this picture for me because when I think of pedal bikes and brews and bikes, I'm picturing those like weird it almost looks like a tram or something where it's like three or four
Mhm.
people on one side, three or four people on the other, all facing each other, and we're all pedaling and drinking at the same time, and then this like carriage of drunk fat people is just like moving through downtown Portland.
Yeah, definitely. No, this is that exactly. This is the most contagious
Oh no.
artifact to leave Portland since the Air Force One. Like, it's the pedal bike. It's their only export. Their second export outside of whatever comes from Beaverton.
Oh no. I've never seen one of those in my entire life, and I can't believe it was in my backyard of Vancouver.
I
So
know.
what streets
Well,
are we talking? Like
yeah, we know we're
we're not
roaming
going
the
down Robson in this monstrosity,
hell no,
or
no,
are we?
no. We're keeping this thing far away from any people at all. We were roaming the alleys of East Vancouver, the derelict warehouse neighborhoods. But dude, this thing goes like I will be pounding pedal, pushing P as hard as I can, breaking a sweat. So I'm sweating through my Hawaiian shirt. We're all wearing matching Hawaiian shirts. And that pedal bike goes just like a couple clicks. It's just like people are walking past us faster than we're pedaling, and we are grinding, we're hustling.
Dude, I
And
hate this so much, dude. If I fucking saw you on this stupid pedal bike, if I for some reason was in downtown yesterday and I saw this, man, I would have hurled my lunch at you or something. This is
yeah, dude,
embarrassing.
I feel like a mediocre rock band, the way people probably wanted to throw cans at me
Hmm.
as we're going down the street. But
Yeah, dude, you would
it
have known what it was like to be Kid Cudi for one moment. Someone throwing a bottle
exactly.
at your head.
I felt like it, dude. Yeah, I wanted to beat myself up. I felt so
Hmm.
ashamed of my brand in that moment. But you kind of got to embrace that, bachelor parties, they're meant to be cringe.
That's
If they're not
what people
cringe,
who
they're not
attend
fun.
that's what people who attend bachelor parties say because they end up getting involved in some kind of activity that they wouldn't normally do, such as
Hmm.
biking and drinking beer.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, it's because you almost need to create a new reality. Like, you're in a twisted world where if you were to act like this in any normal person situation, society would reject you. So you have to create your own little society with your own little rules and eccentricities and realities, and kind of embrace that you are living on a different plane than the rest of humanity for a few hours
mhm.
that day.
I mean, you're right, Ty. It is actually kind of beautiful because the whole point of a bachelor party is to celebrate your last moments of freedom before you are now responsible for a new person,
Mm,
right? So, like, this is your last chance to be a retard with no consequences, and it's
100%.
kind of beautiful.
Because when you're in a relationship, you are accountable for your actions, reflect on them as well. It's like the the decisions that I make to create a bad sandwich, unfortunately, the sandwich artist is accountable to them too.
That's right.
They're
That
just
goes
the
on their
they're
resume.
yeah.
That goes on their Spotify catalog. They're like, oh fuck, like remember when I made views?
Mhm. Yeah, dude, exactly that. You don't wanna get make the sandwich artist do their views. Um, you think you make a bad sandwich at Subway, they have to then decide whether they wanna put that in their portfolio or not.
Hmm.
They're like, "Is this making the catalog or is this
Hmm. It's
this
out.
isn't going on the resume?"
That's right. But I'm actually surprised that you were able to cycle through East Vancouver, ground zero for the drug epidemic, and not one person tried to kill you. um, Not because you were in their space, but because you were in their space and you were making a fool out of yourself and others. You were almost taunting them. You're like, look how silly we are biking over your tent.
Yeah, it is a bit taunting to waltz through someone's home, uh, in an absolute, like, debauchery is
Yeah,
insulting,
in such an
but
egregious fashion.
but most people don't reject it immediately because it's too weird to really comprehend. So you're
Hmm.
still in, like, the, shock phase, but and then by then we've pedaled past you, hopefully.
Hmm. Imagine
Mm.
this thing during the like naked bike ride. Do you remember when that
Ooh.
was a thing? Before COVID, we had the naked bike ride.
Oh, yeah, I remember the naked bike ride.
That was one of the first things to get hard canceled following the
Mhm.
pandemic. But imagine like doing what you did while also like having your ass crack visible to the homeless behind you. It's a double whammy. Those two
Double whammy.
planets of yours, Ty.
Yeah, those planets are on full display. full moon. But Eric, I would have preferred that because it was so hot that I was destroying my clothing. I thought I'm gonna have to burn this
Mhm.
really loud outfit afterwards. And the outfit was outrageous. Everybody was wearing obviously a Hawaiian shirt. The only acceptable time to wear a Hawaiian shirt off outside of the Big Island. And I found some matching Hawaiian bucket hats. Also, the only time ever appropriate to wear a bucket hat as a
Hmm.
man.
Yeah. It's either during a bachelor party or when you're hunting like elephant tusks in the wild or something.
Oh yeah, if you're like a dentist on a safari trying to kill the last remaining like endangered rhino.
Yeah, you need a bucket hat to protect your neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, Ty, I wanted to ask you a bit more about that outfit because you had sent me a very suspicious Snapchat late last night from a public men's bathroom wearing a pink tutu and a bucket hat. And that
Mhm.
signals to me one thing, that Ty, that you got kidnapped by um, some extremists or something. Like, I don't know what was going on, but clearly this was not your choosing. So, care to
Mhm.
explain?
Yeah, this was self-inflicted, unfortunately, Eric, because I
Oh,
supplied the bucket
no.
hats as a means of generating camaraderie amongst a bunch of strangers. And then I also proposed a challenge mid brewery crawl. I said, okay, fellas, we're getting a little intoxicated here. Game time. First, we're all going to chug the glass of water the host so graciously provided that no one's touched because everyone's like sipping on dark lagers. And I said,
Hmm.
we're all going to chug our water. Last person to finish their glass has to wear. And then I pulled it out of my little bag, a bright pink tutu that I brought. And I was like, this is going to be so funny. Right.
This is why I'm really scared of hanging out with you sometimes because I feel like you will do things like this, and I just won't be ready for it. You always have like some kind of trick up your sleeve,
I'm a little magician.
Ty.
Sandwich artists hate my tricks. But uh, what I don't like, Eric, is, and this was my own fault for not realizing it, is that amongst all of these burly men, I have the smallest mouth. So
No,
I was unfortunately unable to drink the water that I proposed drinking before everyone else, and therefore
I.
had to don the tutu.
If you just want to wear the tutu, just do it, man. No one's gonna know. Like you don't need to make up this whole charade. Where, like, oh no, I didn't
Uh,
drink my water fast enough. Ty, just put it on. All right, like we'll have more respect for you if you do that.
if I wanted to experiment with cross dressing, Eric, I do it from the comfort of my home. I wouldn't do it in such a public space.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, man. It's all good. It's no longer Pride Month, but it's 2023. You can go ahead and do
Mhm.
that, and you won't get that assaulted. Just a little bit.
The only cross dressing I like, Eric, is when the sandwich jar just puts the Southwest in a zigzag pattern.
That's right, man. The way you've been wearing that tutu, you were dressing.
I was dressing.
You were dressing.
Yeah,
You are Caesar dressing.
thank you. Yeah, but other than that, pretty normal day.
How did you swing from? Did you like just take off the tutu and you're like, okay, let's be normal now and let's go drink a lager on a stationary stool
hmm
at a sad pub, or like how did you like revert to normal? How did
heat
you
exhaustion.
undo?
The heat exhaustion takes the wind out of your sails real quick.
Mm.
It makes people angry and tired and want to give up. And when you get to that state, you don't just give up, but you take off everything that you're wearing and you try to go
Hmm.
find the most hydrating beverage you can,
Hmm. Good for
like
you.
Gatorade, mostly Gatorade.
Mostly Gatorade for athletes and drunks like Think Fresh.
Dude, I can
Um,
as a litmus test for like whether I need to cut back on my alcohol consumption is actually because it's really hard to keep track of how much I'm drinking. I'm trying, but I can keep track of how many Gatorades I drink. And I've actually
just
noticed an increase in my Gatorade consumption recently, like a blip in the graph in the chart. I'm like, that's
mm,
dangerous. The fact that that's
yeah,
happening is problematic.
just the way you like slurred your way through that statement could tell me it's like I don't have a drinking problem. Okay,
Uh,
listen, I'm just drink. It's just Gatorade. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
Calling me out left, right, and center here.
Yeah, dude. I love when people don't tell me like it's like Listen, I don't have a drinking problem, but their like voices like so haggard from the night before.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Oh,
I'm fine.
yeah. I also spent a lot of time in the sun drinking beers and eating peanuts like a like a true patriot on Canada Day. That's right. That's right, breadheads. We're not Americans over here. We went to a baseball game, Ty, and I was slamming peanuts the entire the entire game. I was just throwing the shells on the floor, catching
Mm,
them with my mouth and chugging honey brown lagers all fucking day, man. And the sun was pounding down on my left thigh. It's burnt to a toast.
mhm.
Um, and I'm still feeling the effects of sunstroke, I think. I had like a 9 hour sleep last night.
Dude, I got a hydration game for you if you
Oh, let's
want
hear
it.
it. Is it
No,
Gatorade?
it's simply chug the water or wear a tutu. We just talked about it.
God
um,
damn it.
so you're nibbling on peanuts like the elephant at the circus, or perhaps the sixth guy at Five Guys, and you're
I'm
enjoying the
the
sun.
sixth. I'm the sixth five guy. I'm there just for the peanuts.
Yeah, yeah. You're like the other Jonas brother. The fourth one.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
he doesn't
Rob.
get
I'm Rob Kardashian in this case.
precisely. You don't get the fame, but you get the peanuts.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, you're right. I was munching on these things, and I gotta say, Ty, it's the best game time snack of all time. Peanuts in the
and
shell.
and why is that? Why is that, Eric? Why are the peanuts so popular?
Mm. Because Ty, while you're like watching the most boring sport of all time, which is
Mhm.
baseball, I find that you just get really fidgety and like you need something to do with your like fingers. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
can't smoke in here, so I have to just like do something else, and that becomes finding the perfect peanut and cracking it open with my fingers and plopping both nuts in my mouth. Pause.
Hell yeah, hard pause there. These nuts are delicious, but
Hmm.
I totally understand that actually. That checks out logically because you are bored and you need something to do. And
Hmm.
this seven-step process of consuming a peanut is the perfect distraction from the
Hmm.
reality of how lame that sport
Hmm.
is.
Also, you get a free pass to make a huge mess under your seat,
Mm,
and there's no consequences. It's like I'm never allowed to just like constantly sit in one spot and litter, just
mhm,
repeatedly, unless you're eating peanuts inside of a stadium. It's like
mhm.
it's like they've designed the stadium to clean that up quickly, basically.
It's like the same thing at the movie theater, right? They're just asking you for you to dump the whole popcorn bag on the ground. No one around,
Exactly.
pitch black, very easy to scatter like
Hmm.
confetti.
Hmm. Exactly. So that was my weekend. I had a great time in the sun, eating peanuts.
Mhm.
But I also went to a new sandwich place, Ty, and I want to tell you about it.
Ooh, I
Okay.
wanna hear about it. I can't believe you waited this late in the episode to talk to me about
Hmm.
sandwiches.
Yeah, Ty, I'm trying to work on our retention metrics here. But get this. Get this, Ty. So I went to a little like Italian market, whatever, on Commercial Drive,
Mhm.
and it's called Grotta de Formaggio,
Oh, yeah.
which
I've heard of
you've
it.
heard of this place? Have you
Never been
been?
there, though. Never been.
Okay.
I seen
It's
it.
very good. I went and I was like, I waited in line and I was thinking like, what the hell does Grotta de Formaggio mean? And I looked it up and it means cheese cave.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
wait, is this the cheese store? I've been in here. I bought cheese from here. Do they
Oh,
sell cheese?
they have like a respectable cheese program. I don't know if the name
Mm,
reflects their priorities very much. It's kind of like half of it is a sandwich shop, half of it is like you buy pasta and coffee beans, things like that.
okay, maybe
Um,
I'm thinking of a different cheese store.
yeah, that's the one on Hastings, maybe. I know what you're talking about.
Ah. Mhm.
Um, but I was thinking about cheese caves. I was like, wow, if I was a little Thai boy, this is the kind of cave I'd like to be trapped in.
Yeah. I'm a little cheese boy.
Yeah, I just eat my way up.
Like little mouse, and
Oh,
his little
exactly.
hand.
But yeah, and I ordered a sandwich, and it was surprisingly very, very similar to Subway, like the ordering process.
It
You
was it
just
like a build a bun.
build a bun. That's right. Uh, yeah, no, sorry, Ty. There's no pedaling involved in this. So I know you like to pedal and do things at the same time, but just disregard that here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same as Subway, okay? You start with your bread. You start with the
Okay.
size and the
Okay.
type of bread, okay? I said whole focaccia. That was
Whew.
the biggest option,
Dude,
okay?
focaccia would be a fantastic option at all sandwich chains.
Oh, absolutely. It's the only type of bread I want.
Hmm.
Um, and what did I get? I got the focaccia. The whole time, I'm also thinking about this sneeze guard that's in front of me, and it's kind of like designed for like midgets. The sneeze guard goes up to my nipples high, so like when I'm like pointing and repeating myself multiple times about which like pickled vegetable I want, I'm like fully leaned over, like talking into the cheese. I'm like, I want that one. You know what I mean? Not very safe at
Hmm.
all.
Can I speak
Um,
directly to your cheese?
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
do you think it's because old Italian men are their most frequent customer, and you probably have at least a foot and a half on the average, like Sardinian elder?
Yes, I definitely do. However, the guy directly behind me was like a foot and a half taller than me.
Whoa,
Yeah,
dude,
dude. This
that
dude
dude
was
needs.
like,
He's got words for the mozzarella too.
yeah, I'm 6'2". This guy was at least 6'9". Like this guy was like, I look behind me, I'm like, Dad. Yeah.
Shit. Was he ordering a focaccia sandwich as well? I love it when I order the same food as like a really big dude because I'm like, yeah, I'm a big dude too,
That's
fellow
right,
big
Ty.
guy.
That's why you make me go first at Subway.
Hmm.
I'll have what the big guy's having.
Yeah.
That
I'll have
stinks.
what he's having. Damn.
God damn. Yeah. I don't even know what he ordered. I was too busy looking for the menu in this place. But you literally just look at the vegetables and you pick what you want. Same thing as Subway, man. But one standout was the sun-dried tomato and the
Mm.
artichokes as well.
Oh, those are both great. I love jarred things in a sandwich.
Oh yeah, dude.
They're always just
Give me
like
that
so
jar.
punchy, you know?
Absolutely. Things that don't normally belong in a American sandwich. But here we are, Ty, in the heart of Italy.
Hmm. At least mentally. Soon, literally, next week.
hmm But Ty, I have one more piece of the story here, and this is going to rock your socks off. Okay. I took the sandwich not to the patio of this little sandwich shop, but to the one next door because I decided to order a cappuccino and sit outside with my freshly made focaccia sandwich. Halfway through
Mm.
my sandwich, this is already dicey, right? I'm like playing with
Hmm.
Italian owners here. This is
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
good place to be in. Halfway through, this 4 foot tall Sardinian man comes out of the cafe and he looks at me. He's like, "You can't eat here." He's like, you can't eat here." I was like, what the fuck did you say to me? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And the guy's like, you can't eat here. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I feel like I'm in the fucking Sopranos or something. Like, what the hell is this? And then like 2 seconds later, another guy comes out, much younger. He's like, I'll handle this. He's like, so sorry guys, you can't eat here. Like, we make sandwiches. I know you got the sandwich from over there. Sorry, we just can't let it happen. And I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. But the miniature, the mini me who came out first really like threw me off. I was like, am I about to be whacked? What's going
Dude,
on?
fucking troll emerging from the cheese cave.
Exactly. The cheese troll came out and said, fuck you. You can't eat here. Dude, I was ready to fucking, I was ready to call the cops, man.
It, you knew you were getting into a dicey situation. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows that's a dicey situation. Hell, I walked by Starbucks today and I saw a woman eating a sushi roll inside.
Yeah, that's different because anything goes in a Starbucks. You know what I mean? Starbucks is public property.
That's true. Yeah, it's crown land.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was in a dicey situation, and let's just say I handled it with grace. Tide, the old me would have
Mm,
told the second old Italian man to fuck off, also. But
mhm.
I've grown. I simply wrapped up my sandwich and then spent the next 2 hours sitting there taking up a
Oh,
seat.
that's smart. That's smart to not, because it would be pretty a beta male of you to actually leave.
Oh
You have to
no.
hold your ground.
Yeah, I'm just gonna finish my piece. I finished like the half of the sandwich I was eating, wrapped up the rest, and I said, "All right, now I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my cappuccino for the next two
Mhm.
hours."
Mm.
And then in the meantime, another group who saw the whole thing walked by and said, "What happened?" I'm like, "Oh, I got busted for eating a sandwich." And then he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I can't fucking believe it." It's like more Italians we're talking about. Like, it's like, yeah, every fucking time this guy comes out here and tells someone, it's like, "Hey, minimum spend." I
Damn,
was like, "Can you believe this?"
dude.
And I was like, "Yeah, man, he's just jealous because the sandwiches are better over there."
Oh, wow, this entire
Yeah.
thing is so Italian.
Yeah, I know. I've literally like started a turf war here on Commercial
Yeah.
Drive. The Sardinians versus the Romans or
Yeah,
something.
the
Who knows?
bloody Napolese. Um, dude, it's a I feel like that small town or, like, local business, for you is they're all frenemies. They low key hate each other for staking each other's customers, but they
Hmm.
need to get along because they're dependencies, all of them.
Exactly. I want to get my espresso here, my focaccia there.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm,
let me do it as I please.
mhm. Power in numbers, right? If it wasn't for this mentality, we wouldn't have the farmer's market, and, that would be a travesty.
Hmm.
Like,
That's
imagine you
right.
walk up to a farmer's market stand with, like, a popsicle or, like, a I don't know,
Yeah.
handcrafted yogurt or ice cream.
Hmm.
You're licking a cone, and you go up to the craft olive oil section, and they say, "You can't lick that here."
Yeah, it's
Crazy,
like
right?
sacrilegious. It's like that's
Yeah.
the opposing gang. You know what I mean? Don't bring,
Mhm.
don't be bringing that shit around here. All right.
Mhm.
Oh man. Well, King, let's try to do our best to keep the peace.
Mhm.
I will be in Europe on a peacekeeping mission. I'll be
Mhm.
sampling aperitivos from anyone who's willing to sell me one, really.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that'll be it for a while. Hope I get to tap in with you soon in the next 2 weeks. But if not, I'll keep you updated on all my travels in 2 weeks' time.
Sounds good. And for the breadheads, if Eric does not buzz in from Milan, I will try to record you a solo episode. You can hear 30 minutes plus of my soothing voice talking into a void,
Hmm.
into the cheese
May
cave
I,
of
may
my
I
mind.
may I give you a suggestion?
Of course, King.
I think if you have the means, you should write a short story. Let's just go with fiction, and I want you to craft like almost like a Think Fresh fan fiction of like a breadhead going into the subway and yada yada yada. I'll let you fill in the blanks, but something fun and different for the breadheads. I know you're up
That'd
to
be
it.
cool. Yeah, it'll be at a Patreon exclusive, a little bit of expanded universe lore surrounding Subway and Think Fresh podcast.
Hmm. That's right.
Yes, chef, you got it, chef. Let's do it.
Yes, chef. All right, breadheads. Think fresh.
Think Fresh. Ciao.